The people were different. The trees were different. The ocean was different. Time was different. Everything you can think of was different. Some people call this myth time, but I don't agree with that. I say this is the time before the Great Flood, the time before the Ice Ages, the time before iPhones. Yeah, long time ago. Long time ago. But Raven was there. And he got caught up in a storm. In southeast Alaska, it often is stormy, much like it is here. We have horizontal rain that goes across the land. So Raven got caught in a storm and he's looking for some refuge, for a safe place. Looking around. And he finds way up high, he sees a light shining, so he goes and makes his journey up there. And he looks inside this cave. Turns out there was a fire there. And inside that cave, nobody else was. Nobody else could be found. And so Raven, he went inside that cave, started warming himself over that fire, drying off his wings. And he was feeling much better now. But sure enough, out from the outside of the cave peered in a looming figure, a large looming figure. And in comes Bear. Bear, this was Bear's cave, of course it was Bear's cave. And Bear started chasing Raven around. Bear chased Raven around and around and up and down and up and left and right and up and down and all around and all around. And then Raven, being the smart thinker that he is, the trickster that he is, he said, and he starts doing something that had never been done before. Never been done before, anywhere in the world. He boogied to the left and he boogied to the right. Yeah. And Raven started moving his body, he's moving his tail feathers, yeah. He's moving his wing feathers, yeah. And Bear's watching this happen. And he realized that Raven is now a guest, an honored guest inside his cave. This is how Raven brought the dance to the first person, the first cave, the first fire. Raven brought dance to life for all of us. You see, Bear went out and he went and he got some salmon. He got a nice salmon and he put it over the fire. And when it was perfectly cooked, Bear took a thorn and poked his paw and he squeezed some bear grease on top of that fish and he shared it with Raven. So they created a bond that would last generations and generations. That kindness, that hospitality, that love. Kusahan. And in the morning when the storm was gone, Raven took off and said, Thank you for your food. And sure enough, sometime later, the storm was happening in southeast. And there was a little bird that came and landed on Raven's nest while Raven was away getting food. And this bird perched there. And it was cold and it was shivering. And it was wet. And Raven came back to his nest and saw this little bird there. Remembered the kindness that Bear had shown him. And he returned that same kindness to that little bird. He took the fish and cut it open and he laid it over the fire. When it was just right, he took his raven oil came out, and he shared that with that little bird. And they created a bond that would last generations and generations and generations. And you see, it's not how much you have to give, it's how much it means to the person you're giving it to. It's not how much you keep for yourself, it's how much you can give away that demonstrates your wealth. See, this is an old teaching of the coast here. Remember that. It's not about how much you can keep in your own pockets, but how much you can give away.